Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to LearnClubDance.com. It's Brian back here again with another video for you guys. For this video, what I wanted to do was something a little different. The last couple videos that we put out on YouTube have been very dance related, which makes sense. You know, we're Learn Club Dance. And this one is dance related too, but I wanted to talk to you guys for a couple minutes a little bit about my background and actually how I found dance in the first place and how I kind of transitioned into being a dancer. Because I think a lot of guys, a lot of people in general who are new to dance just think that all of us professional dancers have been doing it our whole life. And since we were 3 or 2, where we started in dance school and moved up, and that's kind of how we did. Like a lot of professional athletes started when they were very, very young. But dance is a little bit special in that aspect, where you don't have to necessarily start when you're super young to be able to get good, let alone become a professional dancer. In my case, I started dancing, I'm about 27 now, I started dancing about 4.5, 5 years ago, so I was 23, 24. That time period is when I first started dancing. I'd always dance around the living room when I was a little kid and, you know, dance around the Janet Jackson music videos, and Michael Jackson obviously is a huge inspiration to me as a performer and an artist, but I didn't really start seriously dancing until only a couple years ago. And I actually found it through a sport that I was involved with at the time, which was martial arts. So, not very many of you guys know this, but I started as a martial artist. I started as someone who did karate for years. I did it for about 7 or 8 years, earned a black belt, and competed nationally and internationally and coached a national competition team. And what I didn't realize then was I was actually building a base of knowledge about my body and coordination to be able to transition into being a dancer in a really fast and I guess easy when compared to someone who starts from scratch, a very easy way. So the style of martial arts that I started with was Taekwondo, which is a lot of kicking, there's a lot of punching, it's very athletic, and there's a lot of jumping involved. So I really think that helped train my body to be able to understand, you know, where my weight's being put, what foot am I putting my weight on. You guys hear me a lot in the DVDs, if you guys have seen the DVDs, talk about whether you put your weight on your right leg or your left leg, right? It's the same thing in martial arts. I was learning, literally, in a lunge, punching, that my weight was on my right. And then I would shift it to punch, and now my weight is on my left. And the coordination to be able to have a straight line coming from my shoulder all the way out to my hand, to be able to control my body so that all my lines are straight no matter what position I'm in. And that helps a lot with dancing. That kind of really transitioned me and helps me pick up all the little details that choreographers that I were working with in my beginning stages as a dancer were asking me to do. They would say, you know, Brian, the move is this. Like, say that was the move, that was the choreography. Well, literally, I would think, because I had done martial arts first and I understood my body, that this was like an elbow strike. And then I would come here and I would punch down. And I would elbow over and punch down. I would actually relate it to martial arts terms to try to get myself to learn it. So that might be a tip for you guys at home who are new to dance and having a tough time basically relating movements to your body. You know, it's one thing for me to sit here and tell you, do a basic bounce and make it look natural, right? But if you've never done it before and you don't understand how your body actually moves, especially if you don't really have much of a background in sports at all or athletics, then it's hard to kind of relate that and make it look natural like I'm doing it. So what I would like you guys to do is, as you're learning how to dance, try to relate it back to your other experiences, whether it be in football or soccer or baseball or skiing or snowboarding or skateboarding or martial arts like me, whatever it is. Just try to relate what you're learning to some other physical thing you have done, all right? So, for instance, let's take this basic bounce. We're here, we're bouncing, right? We've all done this before. If you've done the DVDs, you know this move is a basic side-to-side bounce. I'm not going to teach it right now, I'm just using it to demonstrate. If I was thinking martial arts, I would literally think fighting stance, and I'm bobbing back and forth, right? And literally all I'm doing at first is this. And then I notice kind of, oh look, one of my fists is going a little forward on the other one. And that could be a punch, right? Like if I was just standing and punching side to side. Or if I add that bounce with my feet in, then it becomes a dance move. And I just take away the punch and then I just relax my arms and let them move the same way. And then I can kind of relate it so that way at least I don't look super stiff, right? At least it kind of makes sense to me, and then over time in practicing I can make the move look better. So that's a little tip with how to use your other experiences in sports to help you in your dancing. All right, so in my instance it's martial arts, but let's say you played basketball, right? You start in this stance in basketball and you want to be quick to shift on your feet so that you can pivot and go any different direction and try to catch a ball, right? Let's take the same dance move, the basic bounce, side to side that we're doing, right? And let's relate it to basketball. So this basic move is basically my ready stance, and I'm shifting side to side. But now all I'm doing is slowing it down and doing it on beat. And at first it might not be that smooth of a transition, but these are things you can ask yourself while you're going through the DVDs and you're learning the moves that will really help you along, especially when you get to the little more intricate moves and the routines that we have for you guys. So it'll really help your ability to pick up the choreography, retain it, and be able to make it look more natural. So, you know, I told you guys I came from a martial arts background. I primarily did Taekwondo, which is a lot of kicking, a lot of punching, it's a lot of acrobatic stuff. But I also did some traditional Japanese karate, Kempo. And in Kempo, you use a lot of stances that are close together. So you're in a back stance and you're doing like knife hand blocks, you're doing high blocks and punching, and a lot of different hand combinations in these different stances. And one of the things that you learn in Kempo is you learn katas. And katas is basically another word for choreography. Basically, it's choreographed fights that you do by yourself to practice your techniques, right? Now this is the key. This is what made me pick up dance so fast. It's because I spent so many years learning routines, katas, sequences of movements that I had to repeat. So let's say the kata was block, knife hand strike, punch, knife hand strike, punch step, front kick, down. I have to remember all of those movements. So over years of remembering that, I can do it fast. Kick, down. And it just happens. I don't have to think about it. So that really, just that basic fact right there, having to pick up different movements and different sequences of movements in karate and in Taekwondo and in competitive martial arts, when we would actually perform them for an audience, really got my mind working and understanding the connection between my mind and my body that allowed me, when I started dancing, to pick it up so fast. And in less than 5 years, I've been able to dance on Saturday Night Live, 30 Rock, New Year's Eve, dancing in Times Square, and all these other amazing things I've been able to do. I'm not saying that's a brag, I'm just saying that no matter where you are in your journey as a dancer or an athlete or whatever your reasons for learning how to dance, there's always an easier way to go about things if you just change the way you're thinking about it. So I would encourage you guys to, let's say you have a move that's really giving you some trouble and you just can't figure it out. I encourage you to think about it, not as a dancer, but think about it, if you're a baseball player, think about it like a baseball player would think about it. Think about it like a basketball player would think about it. Think about it like a football player, like a martial artist, or even like a rock climber, or whatever, who would think about it. Because if you change the way you think about it, it actually will change and become easier. All right? And it just comes back to those basic little things. Oh, well, if I was a basketball player, right, and I had to pivot side to side, how would I do that? Well, I would shift my weight side to side, right? And it starts as something simple like this, just shifting your weight side to side. Am I just shifting it straight? No, because if you're a basketball player, your knees are bent because you want to move quickly side to side, right? So my knees are bent, I know that, I'm still shifting my weight, right? But you watch the DVD, you watch the basic bounce, and you see my knees go up. You think about it, basketball player, why would my knees go up? Well, I need to be able to pivot to a different direction, right? So you think about it in that way, it relates it to your body, relates it to your mind, and it makes you get it that much quicker, right? So those are a couple little tips for you guys, a little bit about my background. Came from martial arts, did it for years, started dancing, and I picked it up so fast, I truly believe, because I had so many years of experience learning choreography, just of a different kind, right? Sequences of movements that helped me pick up dance so fast. But it's the same thing with football, with soccer, with baseball, with basketball. You might not have those routines built in as part of the sport, but you have movement. And you're used to moving your body in different directions. So think about that while you're learning dance, and I guarantee you you're going to learn it so much faster, so much quicker. And a lot of those moves that just didn't make sense before might start making sense to you. So if you guys like this information, definitely shoot me an email at learnclubdance.com. Let me know if it helped you with any certain particular moves. And as always, we've been getting a couple questions on the website about certain moves and different specific questions. And I encourage you guys, if you have questions about the DVD, feel free to email in. I'll do my best to answer every single one. All right? So until next time, I'm Brian with Learn Club Dance. We'll see you soon.